Thank you all, dear devotees, for joining today. We were thinking whether to host this big program because of many of the devotees are traveling and on vacation. This year end, but also we thought that this year is ending, it's year end. If you don't do, and if you are prayerful and thankful for Radha Madhavji, that may be a big, gap that we create. So let's all thank Sri Radha Madhavji for the wonderful devotees that throughout the year are dedicated in such a way that worship the Lord. And we can see that every day so many people just disappearing. I was hearing from a devotee, his cousin was just riding a bike and just came to the traffic junction and he collapsed immediately. No time. So when we think about, then we think that what is this all life that we are getting, right? That's the most important. It's not that, we are taking birth, we are passing. That is quite, everybody has to do that. Everybody has to go for it. The most important thing is that what we do with what we have. That's the most important thing in our life. So thank you so much for joining today. So let's welcome all of you saying Hari Bol 3 times. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. And also we have few devotees joined today from Texas. So it's quite nice that it's a great fortune that you're all coming together in front of the Lord. Some way or other we connect and part of these wonderful spiritual processes. This is nothing but bhakti yoga. So let's also welcome everybody and can you please raise that and say your name, Prabhuji? Yeah. Sunil, yes. And Motherji is here? Akhila, Jai. And 2 children?
Yeah, Vahan.
Vahan.
Yeah,
Vahan and Vian. Nice. Anybody else? No. Okay. Great. Let's thank them also. Hari Bol 3 times. Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Hari Bol. They came first time in the board of Sri Radha Madhavji. And of course, and the mercy of our and Vajranath Prabhu, Prabhuji's relatives and brought over here. So somewhere or other, this great benefit that they're all connected to the Lord now. Lord will never forget this. Even a step that we take, a single step that we take for the Lord, you don't need to do a leaf that if you offer to the Lord, it's just simply a leaf that we offer to the Lord. Lord takes note of it. So this is where our Sukriti, our Krishna consciousness, our spiritual path begins to go back to Krishna. So this is all this time what we do, our gati goes down. It's called adogati. Have you heard this word? Adogati. Many times we hear the people, we see people, they are in suffering and they say, oh, it's adogati. It's because of their adogati, because of their suffering, because of their sinful reactions and activities. Adogati. But the moment you take this, a little bit of service, you offer a little water to Krishna, maybe a flower, a leaf, a fruit, little bit. So what happens? Our purogati, instead of adogati, what happens? Purogati starts. Our gati starts upward, not downward. This is just one moment. This is in the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says in the 2nd chapter, 40th verse. Anybody knows which verse is that? Neha vikramana sosti pratyavayo na vidyade solpam abhyasya dharmasya trayado mahado bhayan. Neha vikramana solpam abhyasya dharmasya. Solpam. Even if that you do that little bit, this dharmasya, this is the dharma, and that's dharmastu sakshal bhagavat pranidha. So dharmastu sakshal, dharma, our real dharma is nothing but to connect ourselves to that Supreme Lord, to link ourselves to that Supreme Lord, to engage in the service, to the loving devotional service to that Supreme Lord. That is our param dharma, and dharmastu sakshal bhagavat pranidha. The moment we do this, a leaf, little water, a flower, so we are freed from that greatest danger. Trayado mahado bhayan. Trayado means we overcome. Mahado, great danger. Bhayan, the fearful, most fearful. Maha, bhayan. What is that greatest danger that one goes through? Death. Not getting a human form of life again. So if we miss this human form of life, we never know that when we are going to get back this human form of life. Some people have this concept that, okay, once you reach to the human form, then there is nothing, that's it. There is nothing beyond it. But we have so many examples. Even our scripture is nothing but spiritual science. Completely a spiritual science. It's not that, in ordinary dealings that we cannot understand it. In ordinary dealings that we cannot understand this spiritual science. So spiritual science, there are two things. One is called, aarohana. Another is called avarohana. The two ways that we can perceive the knowledge, the spiritual science. Two ways. One is upward, another is downward. Upward means aarohana, and the next one is called avarohana. Just for an example, that if you are trying to find our origin, so we go and do the experiments, go to the chemical and laboratory, start to do all kinds of experiment, and we dissect even the animal and the human, all the forms of life, and dissect. You're trying to find, you're dissecting that human or any form to find our origin. And have anybody successful in this so far? No, nobody. This is called avarohana. That means we are starting from the scratch. Go there further, and trying to find out that where this is, started or begin. But on the other hand, it's called avarohana. Avarohana means comes down from the higher authority. So our scripture says that those who are, there are devotees, there are great personalities, they have seen the truth. They have seen the truth. So they are called authorities. Or we can call it as disciplic succession, or Guru-parampara, right? Guru-parampara. So our Guru-parampara, our transcendental knowledge or spiritual science start from whom? Krishna himself. So all we need is actually the faith. What we need? The faith in Krishna, the faith in the Supreme Lord. All we need is that faith. So if you have the faith, and then naturally what happens? We get the opportunity, get the association of this similar devotees, or we get an opportunity to see or associate with that highly elevated, the spiritual master or a devotee. It's called sadhu sangha. And scripture says that sadhu sangha, sarva shastra kaya, leva matra, sadhu sangha, sarva siddhi hoya. The moment you have this association of the devotee, or a great personality, sadhu sangha, sarva shastrakaya, leva matra sadhu sangha, sarva siddhihaya. Even a little bit of association of a devotee or those who have seen the truth. That's why Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, the 9th chapter, 4th chapter, 34th verse. Anybody knows? 4th chapter, 34th verse. 434. Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena seveya upadekshadye jnanam jnaninas tattva darshinaha. Tad vidhi pranipadena pariprashnena seveya upadekshadye jnanam. The knowledge. There is knowledge. Don't think that there is no knowledge. It's all whimsical. No. Everything is knowledge. That's why Krishna is also knowledge. What is Krishna's form? Sat, Chit, Anand. What is that Chit? Chit potency is the knowledge potency. Right? So we know that just a caterpillar or something like that is a little fly. Can you believe that? It put an egg. Caterpillar is little, the butterfly, right? It just put an egg. What happens? And where it's put the egg? On a leaf. And it is there. And it's start to scratch, come out. Then what happens? Then slowly it comes out and it creates a, cocoon within itself. There was one incident happened like this. There was one devotee saw this one. There were many cocoons were there on the leaf. It was bounded with all this, silk, right? Silkworms. So that couple of, the cocoon, the silkworms, these worms just came out and it started to fly. This devotee saw that there is another one which was inside the cocoon and, it's not coming out. It's not coming out. He thought that, okay, it is struggling inside. So let me help them. Let me help them to put it out and just to bring it out. So as soon as he thought that, okay, as soon as he bring it out, then it will start to fly. But it has its own course. The other butterflies, as soon as it had its own course and it came out and it started to fly. But on the other hand, and didn't even ripen in the sense that it's not ready and couldn't do anything. So where it is coming from? This is all that wonderful knowledge that everything has inside. It all works as per it. Just for an example, we know that the scorpions, right? The scorpions or the snake or whatever the scorpions, and if you go there, and as soon as it's hatched that egg, when it comes out, okay, and you go near to that, you would go near to a scorpion or a, cobra, little from that egg, it just came out, okay, it just came out. But as soon as you go there, what happened? It raised its hoods. You notice that? It raised its hoods. Where did it get that from? This is called, dear devotees, we have two things, Sruti and Smriti. Okay? Vedic knowledge, divided into two. One is Sruti and Smriti. Vedic knowledge is known as Sruti basically. And also there is Smriti. So this is called Smriti. Where does Smriti come from? From the Supreme Lord. Supreme Lord has. So that's why Supreme Lord, He is full of knowledge. He is full of knowledge. That knowledge that we are. That's why Krishna says that. Sarvasya Jagam. Okay. 15. Sarvasya Jagam. I think Bhakti Shastris are sitting here. How many Bhakti Shastris are here? 1, 2, right? You are also there. Yes. Bhakti Shastris. So which one? 15:15.
Sarvasya
Sarvasya chaham hridhi sannivishto
mattah smriti
Mattah
jnana apohanam cha vedasya sarva ahameva vedyo vedasya chaham
Vedescha sarvam ahameva vedyo vedandakrit vedakrit eva chaham. What is the meaning? What is the translation? What is the translation?
I am the provider of smriti, knowledge, and I am also forgetfulness, cause of the forgetfulness in the,
Yes.
and I am the compiler of all the Vedas, and I am the knower, the ultimate knower of the Vedas.
Okay. Bhakti Shastri should remember this. All these verses and the translation. So Krishna said, I am seated in everyone's heart. I am seated in everyone's heart. And what is next? From me comes remembrance, smriti. From me comes remembrance, knowledge, jnanam, and forgetfulness. Mataha smritir jnanam apohanam cha, forgetfulness. Vedescha sarvam ahameva vidyo. So dear devotees, this is spiritual science. This is called science. This is spiritual science. Understanding that what we are and what is our, existence, who we are all. This is called spiritual science. Understanding, that's called science of self-realization. Understanding ourselves. Who are we? What are we? Where this remembrance comes, smriti, and sruti, smriti, which comes from whom? Krishna. So this is what? This is called avarohana. Avarohana, ascending and descending. So we know that we had great sages and rishis. Can you believe that Aryabhat in 5,000, 6,000 years ago, all this wonderful, and our scripture only said the first that the earth is a globe. Our scripture says that, and 5,000 years ago, 6,000 years ago, that which is already been mentioned, that earth is a globe. And in that thousands of years ago, our Bhagavatam, which is compiled, it says that the planet, the pole star, which is static, it doesn't move. How did they come to know this one? Did they go there? Did they travel? They said, it's completely returned. The pole star, which doesn't move, is static there. Can you believe? And in our scriptures revealed that the water comes from the fire. Can you believe this aspect? It was static, doesn't move, the pole star. It's very static there. And everything else is revolves to that pole star in this universe. Everything else, all the stars, all the other universes. We know that we are building a wonderful temple in Mayapur. Temple of Vedic Planetarium. TOVP. Temple of Vedic Planetarium. So devotees, this was mentioned and compiled, revealed all these thousands of years ago. And how did they come to know this? And this is a fact. Even modern sciences, came up with that. All this, yes, pole star doesn't move. It's static. And our scriptures reveals that pole star is the abode of the Lord Vishnu. Everything else revolves to that supreme abode, the abode of Shiro Dakshaya Vishnu. How beautiful it is. This is called spiritual science. And that science, Bhagavatam, all the modern science, if you look into our scripture, Bhagavatam, everything you can see there. Everything. It may be in a story form or something like that, but this is actually the original Veda. So all this Vedic knowledge, this is originally was in this our Vedas, and that Vedas then comprised in this form of various other Upanishads and Vedanta Sutra, and Vedanta Sutra then become the Srimad Bhagavatam. In order to make us understanding, it elaborated little more in a very, it's called Puranic, right? We have Puranas. What is Purana means? History. Purana means history. What is Itihas means? Itihas means also the same history. Purana means old and history, historic. It's all historic, it's not a myth. People have such a kind of notion, oh, this is all myth, because they don't understand it. And they cannot understand it. I think it was Leo Tolstoy or I think in Wordsworth, William Wordsworth. They read initially our scriptures or Purana, the Vedas. They were very intelligent and they wanted to. They couldn't understand anything. Initially, they couldn't understand. They said this is all story. This is all story. But I think it's William Wordsworth. So then he started to read it, started to meditate on the fact and connected to the fact that what is happening around in this world and what happened. Then he concluded that this is not just a story or a myth. There is substance in it. It is very true. But it is depicted in such a way that so that people can easily connect to it. So it's not that it's very easy to understand, but once you connect it to it, then what happens? Then you slowly get into the proper understanding of the spiritual science. So last week we were mentioning that only few percentage that we have little bit. Everything beyond. See, that's why in the Bhagavatam says that the matter which we see in this world is only 25%. Whatever see is called Ekapada Vibhuti. Ekapada Vibhuti means that whatever this world that is just is the 25% of that what we see. 25%. Even is, as maximum mass. But 75% is called Tribhada Vibhuti. The Bhagavatam says, since we have to understand this. Tribhada Vibhuti means 75% is beyond our perception or beyond our this material realm. And it's a fact. And this is the fact. And science is also came up with it. Similar fact of it. That's why they came up with this all the Big Bang theory. You know the Big Bang theory? Many of you heard it. Oh, just one exploded. Where is exploded from? Isn't it? The devotees is amazing. Is amazing. So we have this avarohana or descending, okay, from the higher truth or higher authority. Or as says that one who has seen the truth. So we have such a wonderful Guru-parampara, disciplic succession that from Krishna instructed this to Brahma. Brahma instructed this to whom? Narada Dev. Narada instructed to whom? Vyasadev. Vyasadev instructed to whom? Sukadev Goswami. Right? So Sukadev Goswami to Sudha Goswami, and it's all the way comes down. Right? So wonderful. The same knowledge which originally, that's why Krishna says that. Evam parambara praptam imam rajashreo vidum sakale na mahima yoko nashta parantapa. So due course of time, this transcendental knowledge, losing its origin. So now I am instructing this to you also, Arjuna. So it's originally from Krishna. That's why Veda means knowledge. So when we get this knowledge, those who have seen the truth is from originally, it has complete. That's why Satyam Param Demahi. Anybody remembers Bhakti Shastris? Which words this come from? Satyam Param Demahi. This is from where?
First Bhagavatam.
Eh? Yes, but where it come from? This verse. Which one? No. This is from Vedanta Sutra. Srimad Bhagavatam begins with Vedanta Sutra. That's why Srimad Bhagavatam is known as Vedanta Sutra. What is begin with the Vedanta Sutra? Janma Asya Yataha. Janma asya. Everything comes from that Supreme Lord. Janma asya daha. And it ends with what? Bhagavatam, the verse. What is the Vedanta Sutra? It ends with Satyam Param Dhimahi. The absolute truth. The absolute truth. Janmadhyasya daha idara chatve sabhikcha swarat tene brahma hridaya adigave mukhyandiya suryaha tejo vari vinimaya yatra nisarga amarsha dhamna swena nirasta guham satyam param dhimahi. This is what it is. Vyasadev, this is not only Vyasadev is compiled this, not even Sukadeva Goswami. This Vyasadev compiled this. Janmadhya asya daha. Everything begins from that Supreme Lord. And that Supreme Lord is Satyam Param Dhimahi. He is the absolute truth. Absolute truth. It's all come from. So this ascending and descending, so if we go through the aarohana, okay, let me find this one and where it's come from, and we have only maximum 100 years, and even we are also lucky. How we are going to understand this? We will not. Just for an example, like you wanted to go to New York. You don't have any idea how to go to New York. So now you are going to find out, how can I go to New York? So you just have the only knowledge that, okay, it is somewhere in the north. You are somewhere in the south. So you don't have any idea what is New York, where is New York, and how is New York. So you are just trying to speculate. This is called mental speculation. Mental speculation. Going to speculate it. Okay, if I go here, I will go there, then I from there, and from there. But if you ask a person, already know that, already went to New York, just ask this, how to go to New York? He says that, okay, either you can take a train from Princeton Junction to New York, directly take you there. Which one is easy? You are speculating so much like this, and you just ask a person that he already know this.
It becomes easy.
Huh?
Becomes easy.
Exactly. Spiritual knowledge is like that. They have seen the truth. All you needed to do, just ask, just to do pariprasnena seveya upadeshandiye jnanam jnaninas tattvatachina. Approach that person and ask, how is this all about? Instead of your thousands of lifetimes, if you cannot even reach there. So similarly, dear devotees, all we need to do is nothing but just ask to a person that, how is it all this? And surrender unto that person, upadeshandiye jnanam and seva, and also do that, so that serve menially, says that, very menially, that you serve that such person, and then naturally you also get that knowledge. This is the spiritual science. This is the path of to understand the spiritual science. So it comes through avarohana. So avarohana is the best, the way. So this is the spiritual science. So we are approaching, we are taking. Who is actually compiled this? Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. Right? Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. And he is revealing this knowledge. This is absolute, perfect knowledge. We don't have, faith. We believe in ourselves. We believe in everybody else. We know that. So we believe in ourselves. There was a story like this. When Draupadi was disrobed in the assembly of Kurukshetra, Kuru dynasty, in the Kuru assembly. How many of you know that? Draupadi was disrobed. Who disrobed? Tried to disrobe? Dushasana. Dushasana was trying to disrobe and trying to take out all the cloth in the assembly of, the gentlemen. Can see that the pathetic situation of Mother Draupadi. Mother Draupadi was trying to hold herself as if that I have so much of power and potency, so that let me hold myself. This naturally comes. And then one point of time, then Draupadi realized that now I can't do anything. That's the time now Draupadi left her hand from the sari, raised her hands in the air, and prayed to the Lord, "Oh Vasudeva." It says that Dwaraka Nila Achyuta Govinda Pundari Kacha Rakshamam Sharanagadi. It was the prayer, this was the prayer. Mother Draupadi was, praying to the Lord. Dwaraka Nila Achyuta Govinda Pundari Kacha Rakshamam Sharanagadi. I am surrender unto you. And she was holding till that time all her clothes. Now what happens? Now she released that one and raised her hands and prayed to the Lord, "Please protect me, I am surrendered unto you." So what happened after that? What happened after that?
Krishna comes.
Krishna manifested as unlimited sari. Unlimited sari. So later, after that, Krishna protected and saved Mother Draupadi. So Draupadi mentioned to Krishna, "Krishna, I am your devotee. I was your devotee. So when I was in the danger, why didn't you protect me? Why didn't you come initially to protect me?" So Krishna said, "Yes, I knew that. But I was looking at you, but you had so much of, that pride that within you that I can do everything the way I want. So, but you release that pride now. Now you are surrendered. You release that pride now that I am, and you completely surrender to me, protect me, and that pray to the Lord. That's the time that I intervened. I came as the sari, as extended as my potentia sari to protect you." So the devotees, this is what is being need. So this is the mood that we should always have. Who are we to control this world? We are all trying to become Ishwaras, right? We are all trying to become Ishwaras. So we should relieve that notion. We should completely surrender to the Lord. And Lord will be there. This is very, very important. This is the spiritual science, dear devotees. And when we completely understand that faith with the association of the devotees, then we engage in the loving devotional service. Lord is there to protect you, to take care of you. Provided that you should relieve that, come out from that, our ego, our ahangar. Right? Our ahangar or ahanda. It's called ahanda, aham, mamada, attachment. So many of these things takes us away from that, coming closer to the Supreme. So dear devotees, we have this, as I mentioned that, when we hear somebody passes away, but we never think that our time will also come. There is a beautiful story in Mahabharata. How many of you know that? Yudhishthira Maharaj and Yamaraj. Many of you know this story. Nobody knows? Yudhishthira Maharaj and Yamaraj. So, we know that they were in exile in the forest. Yaksha. Story of Yaksha. It was Yamaraj. So they were in the forest, they were traveling, they were going through. So they became so thirsty and it was a long walk. Exhausted. No water to drink. Draupadi said, "I don't have any energy to move. Let us rest here and have some water." So then what happened? So Yudhishthira called Sahadeva, youngest one. "Sahadeva, go and find some water. Draupadi is so tired and we all need water." Sahadeva went and quite some in the forest, found a pond there. And about to fetch the water, there was a sound in the air. Stop. You cannot take this water. This is my pond. I owned it. If you answer my question, then only you can take this. Otherwise, you cannot take it. So naturally, Kshatriya, this aham is there always. I am so and so good. I am so and so warrior. I am so and so, do this. So they said, who are you to talk to me like this? You know who I am. I am the younger brother of Yudhishthira, the king of Pandavas. So then Sakadeva went to the water, to the pond, and trying to take the water, immediately he died right there. Immediately right there. So then Yudhishthira Maharaj was worrying about, and then after some time, Yudhishthira Maharaj, Sakadeva was not coming back. Sakadeva was not coming back. And Yudhishthira Maharaj told to Nakula, Sakadeva didn't come back. Can you go and find what happened? And also we are all thirsty, we need also water. So then Nakula also went to the forest and came to the pond. So that Sakadeva is lying dead down there. Looked around, who did this? Whoever did this, come forward, I'll kill you. It's a Kshatriya code. So then Nakula was just, raised his bows, and then all of a sudden there is a sound from a tree there, back there. Tharu, stop. You cannot take this water, this pond is mine, I owned it. Unless you answer my question, you cannot take this water. Otherwise, you will also have the same fate of your brother, Sakadeva. Then Nakula also was a Kshatriya, very valor. There's so much of power they have. That who are you all this? You know what is my power? I'll kill you right now, come forward. So then Nakula also went and trying to take the water. He also died right there. Right there in the pond. Simhesvara Maharaj worried. Now, both of them went and they are not returned back. What happened? So now, Yudhishthira Maharaj told to Bhimasena, can you go and find out? Your brothers didn't come back. What is happening? So Bhim also went and came to the pond and saw that Nakula and Sakadeva was lying dead. Bhim was so angry. Naturally, Bhim got angry so fast. He was so angry, he was so much, furious. Who did this? Come forward, I have 10,000 elephants. Shakti, the power is within me. Who did, I will crush them. Same thing, again, there was a sound. Stop. You cannot take the water. And unless you answer my questions, and you cannot take the water, otherwise you will also have the same fate of your brothers. Even though he's seen that they are lying down there, Bhima was not even, bothered about it. See, Bhima was, you know who I am. I'll show my power. You come forward. So this is what it is. So then what happened? Then immediately, then Bhima is also trying to take the water, and Bhima also right down there. And Arjuna came. Arjuna is the greatest Gandiva, right? Greatest archer, and nobody can defeat Arjuna. Arjuna, there was a story in the Bhagavatam that Arjuna made a wall. Even Yamaraj couldn't come inside with his arrows. This was the power of Arjuna. He made a wall like that, even Yamaraj couldn't come inside. But Lord came inside, There is a story called Sandana Gopalam in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So I'm not getting into it. It's about beautiful, wonderful pastimes of Krishna. Then Arjuna also came. See this, Bhima is lying down there. Who did this? Who can do this? Same thing, same fate. The sound came and Arjuna said, who are you? You know what is my power of my Gandhi? So then, same fate. Arjuna was about to take the water and he also died right there. And now Yudhishthira Maharaj becomes overheated. They went for, and even Arjuna didn't come back. What happened? But he can defeat Arjuna in such a way that Yudhishthira Maharaj came. So that all of them were lying down, dead, lying down right there. Yudhishthira Maharaj, he is called Dharmaputra. He's not like others. Always upkeep the Dharma, upheld the Dharma. Every time, whatever comes in front of him, he just think twice whether it is in the code of the Dharma. Then Yudhishthira Maharaj looked around. Who did this? So immediately he heard the sound. Taru, stop. This is my pond. You cannot take the water. So all your brothers were gone against my, will. And they had the same fate. If you do so, you will also have the same fate. So Dharmaputra, Dharmaraja, Yudhishthira Maharaj is always very cautious of everything. And of course, this is a word and then has to be honored, right? That whoever says something, whatever says something, we should not upright reject it. Whatever ask somebody, do something, whatever it is, we should not simply reject it because of this person. I have so much of power, so I can do anything I want for it. This is all, right? Mahabharata is so wonderful. Yudhishthira said, I'm sorry, and whatever has happened, I don't know. Please ask me. How can I answer your question? With that humility, that humbleness, and folded the hands and requested to that sound. I will try to, I might try my level best to answer your question. Please ask the question. So there are a lot of questions that were there. And one of the questions it was quite famous actually, those questions. What is more darker than in this world? What is the most darkest thing in this world? Kajal se kari, kone aur kya hai? Something like that. Kajal, the kajal which, kajal se kari, what is the most, even that's the most darkest, right? And so blackish, and then what is most beyond that? So Yudhishthira said that is the pap. Pap is the most darkest and kajal se kari. So like that, there are many questions like that. And then asked this Yudhishthira Maharaj. So what is the most amazing things that you see in this world? What is the most amazing things that you see in this world? Yudhishthira Maharaj so beautifully answered. Yudhishthira Maharaj said, people are dying every day and everybody sees it. Everybody is seeing this. People are dying every moment, every day, but they never think that I am also going to die. This amazes me most. This sound, it was none other than who was? It's the form of Yaksha. It was actually Yamaraj. Who was Yamaraj? It was the father of Dharmaputra, Yudhishthira Maharaj. This Yamaraj wanted to test Yudhishthira Maharaj. Then Yamaraj mentioned to Yudhishthira Maharaj, okay, I will give life to one of your brother. Whom you will select? Whom you will select? Yudhishthira Maharaj, so, wonderful. Yudhishthira Maharaj said, I would request to give life to Sahadev. Then Yamaraj asked, so Arjuna is there, Bhim is there, you know that because of them, then you need support like this, and it is your own brother. But Sakadev is not your own brother, it's the son of Madri, Kunti and Madri, right? Why did you select, son of Madri? So, Yudhishthira Maharaj said, as a son of Kunti, I am alive. But if I select one of my brother, then I will be doing the injustice to my mother, the Madri. I don't want that. See, if I get Sakadev back, so I'll be justice, that to give the justice to Madri, so that I am alive and also the son of Madri is also alive. So this Yamaraj becomes so pleased with the dharma of Yudhishthira Maharaj. Then what happened? When Yamaraj gave life to all of them back, came back to their original life. So the reason mentioned that, said the devotees, we have to think all this in our life. What we are, who we are, where do we come from, what are we going to do after this, where are we going to go, this is all the fact. But we completely because of our forgetfulness comes from the ignorance comes from the sinful activities, papa and the karma. All this comes, this is all chain reaction. This is kind of a, one after another. It's all related and linked together. That's what is karma yoga. We are going through this Bhagavad Gita. So all depends on what kind of activity we do. It's a cycle. There is karma called prarabdha karma. You know what is prarabdha karma? Anybody knows? Karma is also divided into different other layers. What is prarabdha karma?
Previous
Actions
karma.
from previous life.
Life, but what is that prarabdha karma? The karma which you are suffering now. Prarabdha.
Fructified.
Fructified. The karma which you are suffering now is called prarabdha karma, which is come from the previous year's karma, that all activities. All your activities, that's what it is. We have some, ailments, some problems, some diseases, some problems with, children, some, society is all out there. What is called? That's called prarabdha karma, which is already manifested. There is a karma called aprarabdha karma. What is that? Aprarabdha karma?
Which is not manifested.
Yet to manifest. It is there in our account. We never know when it is going to come. Okay? Aprarabdha karma, yet to manifest. We know the story of Dhritarashtra. How many of the story of Dhritarashtra?
100 sons.
Yes, 100 sons. How did he get the 100 sons? And why these all 100 sons died at a time? It's all karma. One is prarabdha karma and aprarabdha karma, yet to manifest. It is there in our account. Prarabdha and aprarabdha karma. Yet to manifest. We never know. That's why sometimes, we go all on a sudden. All on a sudden, we never even thought about it. All on a sudden, we go through such a, terrific conditions. Sometimes all on a sudden, people get, I think I was reading this, 1.3 billion or something, somebody got it. All on a sudden. Right? All on a sudden. You get 1.3 billion. Or somewhere or other. You get good, you get bad. Right? So many ways. Who thought that, I think recently there was a plane crash somewhere.
Yes.
Where? Jordan? Azerbaijan somewhere. Boom. Where it is coming? Some lived, some are already. How many of you were there in the World Trade Center, when it is attacked? I was down there. I was down there on the World Trade Center when it is
10 minutes before that.
10 minutes before. I saw the plane was hitting. And first plane hit, I was down there. Just ran outside and saw that. Oh, it was terrific. Who thought this one? Who thought this one will happen? I'm sitting in a flight. This is called the prarabdha karma and a prarabdha karma. This is all interrelated. You never know what we are going through. It had to manifest. It's there. Okay? Don't think that, okay, my life is so wonderful. I have so much in my bank account. I have those, I have this, I have this, I have this. This is our thought. But we never know what is there in the next moment. How many of you experienced that? Probably 3-4 months back we had an earthquake here.
Yes.
Have you ever thought?
Very
Yeah.
bad.
Have you ever thought that? It was shaking like anything, and I realized that. I just ran to the outside.
I didn't know it's everywhere. I thought it's something wrong.
Something wrong in my house. Yes, that's what it is. We never thought of it.
I missed it. I was in the basement. I didn't even realize.
Think about that. It was almost like 4.3 or something. Think about that. It was just one more point. 5 or 6. Just one more point, 5 or 6, everything will be just like a dust. It will be underneath of all the dust. Many places all of a sudden erupt the volcanoes. Right? Earthquakes. This fall down, that is. Why? Karma. So we have to go through this called, that means whatever we do, whatever the pain, whatever that we gave to others, this is supposed to come back to us, no matter what. It's very important. So then what happens? See, prarabdha, aprarabdha, bijam, balam, kodam. And then what happens? Anything that which we do is create also a seed. Bijam. Anything that what we do. Especially the bad activities which we do. Seed which creates. Bijam. And that seed becomes phala. Become fruitified. It's become a fruit. Then what will that fruit become? The seed become tree. Tree then fruit. There will be fruits in the tree. This is the reactions. This is the activities of all this. And not only that, it's also kudam. So this is a big thing. This is a wonderful topics to discuss. So how it is all functioning in our life, and not only in this life, life after life after life. Life after life after life. So devotees, only thing that we can change ourselves in this world, only thing that we can change ourselves is our karma. We can change it. So we know that, many of you know that the palm reading, right? So you know that, right? Usually when you palm read, it's mentioned that when you take a birth, something is written on your left hand, that's why you get by birth on your left hand. When you look at your right hand, he said that's what is you earned, you developed. The karma or the activity. So you can see that also. So left hand and the right hand, there will be a difference. There will be some differences. So this is what it is. So we develop our all in every lifetime after lifetime, and we accumulated so much. But we can change that. We can reverse it. Right? Certain diseases we can reverse it, right? Right? Certain diseases, but that we can reverse it. See, what is only one way that we can reverse everything or we can change our karma. Is anything but link ourselves to that Supreme. Connect ourselves to that Supreme, relate ourselves with that Supreme, because of we are not belongs to this material. This is temporary. This material world and nature is temporary. But we have our eternal, wonderful eternal nature. That's a spiritual nature. We are belongs to that eternal, spiritual, superior nature. That's what is we are all anyway. So our life from between the birth and the death, to understand this fact. We are nothing but eternal spiritual entities. Eternal spiritual entities. So this is the truth and the fact. And what we need to do? So we have to always awaken. We always realize that we are spiritual entities, which is eternal, full of knowledge and full of potency. Which is full of knowledge, full of potency and full of bliss. So all we need to do, dear devotees, nothing but just connect ourselves, whatever the way, little bit that, and we will be free from which one? Neha vikramana sosti pratyavayo na vidyade swampam avyasya dharmasya prayado mahdobhya. Be relieved from that greatest danger of the death or not getting a human form of life.